Hey, Agent B here, you guys, and I've got Mike Cornelius from
Model Mortgage.
Model Mortgage. You
Good
know,
morning.
he's one of my guys, man. We do the webinars, and so I brought him on today because everything going on in the market right now is just crazy. You know it is, and you know how difficult it is. Even it was so difficult, obviously, the last 2 years. It's getting easier for the buyers now, but now the problem is rates.
Right.
Like
Affordability.
what's the rate today? Like just an average straight across the board rate.
Yes. So standard cookie cutter, 740 FICO, conforming conventional. We're looking at like 7.375%.
7.375, and literally 8 months ago we're at 3%. 3.5%.
Seriously.
So we're trying to find ways for buyers not to be so scared, where they can pick up a home, and maybe it's not as expensive, because obviously that's just knocked a ton of people out from certain price ranges.
Right.
So we're going to talk about this thing called a 2-1 buy. Is that what 2-1 buy down?
2-1 buy down. I'm sure you're hearing a lot about it. It's all over the industry right now.
So Mike's going to share it with us. We're going to walk through some numbers with you, and this is a good option. If you're thinking, well, I'm going to wait for rates to come down. Well, this could be your way to, get in now. And then if the rates do come down, refi when those rates come down, but your rate's going to be low for a couple of years. So why don't you walk us through it, Mike?
Yeah, so the key is making things more affordable again, right? Like, it's been super affordable, but it's been super hard to get a property, right? You're in a line of 35 people.
At least.
And then you're spending a bunch of money to fix up a house because the seller wasn't doing anything. So now things are changing a little bit. And so as the market changes, our lenders change and they add new products. And they're trying to do that in a way now that is responsible, as opposed to, 2007 and 8 when things were crazy. So one of the things they came up with is, you've heard of a rate buy down before. And I'm going to give you different examples of a rate buy down versus this 2-1 buy down that everybody's talking about.
So before he goes on, what he's talking, what we're separating here is regular kind of conventional thinking of, hey, it's at 7 point whatever right now, but I'm going to get it down to 6 something.
Right.
And so that's a regular rate buy down, but he's also there's a new program where you can do this 2-1 buy down. So just kind of keep that in mind. You'll see what the difference is. It's pretty amazing.
Yeah, it's just a short-term buy down. So let's assume for a minute, and I'm just going to throw an arbitrary number out. I'm not going to say go to all your sellers and say I need 30 grand. Okay. But I'm just using an arbitrary number of, let's assume the seller has agreed to a $30,000 concession. Okay. Most sellers, most real estate agents are going to tell their seller, hey, let's drop price 30 grand. Okay. So you go into this purchase, the purchase price is going to drop by $30,000, but that's only going to save you $270 a month. Okay.
If they drop the price.
Yeah.
Sure.
So they take that $30,000, they bring their price down 30 grand, and it saves you $270 a month. That's not bad.
Sure.
But there's another thing we can do with that. So hearing 2-1 buy down is great, but let's define it a little bit for you. So we tell the seller, hey, instead of dropping your price 30 grand, let's leave it where it is. But we want you to take that 30 grand and contribute it to our 2-1 buy down. So first, what we want you to do is we want you to take 15 grand and buy us down from 7.375 to 6.625. Okay. So they're going to take 15 grand. They're going to buy us down half a point. About half a point.
Yeah.
Okay. Then what we want you to do is we want you to spend another 16 grand. So they're at 31. We want you to spend another 16 grand, and we want you to do a 2-1 buy down for us. And what that's going to do for me, the buyer, is it's going to reduce my effective interest rate for that first year to 4.625. Okay. So my payment at 7.375, where we were, was $49.91. Okay, flat. Like today, no concessions, no nothing. When we had the $30,000 buy down, it dropped my payment to $47.23. Okay.
Wow.
So that was the $30,000 just price drop.
Sure.
Okay. So now we're going to get rid of the price drop, and we're going to do this buy down and this kind of double rate buy down for 30 grand. So the first year, my payment's going to drop $900. It's going to go down to $36.76. Okay. So that's a huge $900 a month. Now you can afford the house again. Right. That's gigantic. Year 2. And
really, that's almost like dropping the price of the house like $100 grand.
Yeah, maybe more.
I mean, it's really, if you're thinking of what you're talking about, like $80 to $90 a month for every 10,000. That's like really dropping the price $100 grand. So when you think, man, I'm overpaying for these houses right now, you're really not, because you're getting like $100,000 discount on that first year.
Right.
Okay, great. Well, that's great.
So then year 2, it's going to go from 4.625 back up to 5.625, right? And that payment is going to be $41.15 a month,
okay,
or $400 better.
Okay? Which is still
great.
Yeah, which is still like
still
about what about 40 or 50,000 off.
Exactly.
So you're saving. You're basically buying a house for $100,000 less the first year, and a house for about $50,000 less the second year. So you're still winning,
right?
In this market where everyone thinks prices are inflated and stuff like that. So what happens? Not to jump too far ahead, but so what happens after those couple of years? Let's say rates get back into the 4s. Can they then refi at that time, or is there a penalty for that?
Yeah, which is the greatest part about this, right? So the forecasters are all saying, within the next couple of years, we're going to have a rate reduction. We don't know that for sure.
Yeah.
But
everybody's waiting for the crash, you guys.
But based on history,
yeah,
that's pretty believable. In the next couple of years, we're going to see a rate burn. And just so you know, this doesn't keep going up, right? If rates don't drop, you don't keep going up to 7, 8, 9. No, it's a fixed rate at 6.625.
Got it.
But they buy it down for a couple of years, and then it comes back up to
got it.
Okay. So let's say rates come back down. Now we can refinance you at where they're at currently, whatever that number is, and lock you in there for 30 years.
Is there any kind of a prepayment penalty for that or anything?
No prepayment penalty. You're going to have your normal title and escrow fees, your normal cost to a refinance. But that's the goal. And that's why this program is so great, because it helps you kind of bridge the gap for the next couple of years when rates are going to be a little shaky. Right. And then we're hoping, before 2 years from now, but most likely by 2 years from now, things are going to settle down and be in a better spot.
Does this affect price qualification for a buyer at all?
It does. You still have to qualify at the 6.625 at the high rate.
Gotcha.
So we've got to qualify you there.
That's good to know.
But most people are qualifying. They just don't want to pay the monthly rent. Right. They don't want to pay the monthly payment at 7% anymore, especially when we got used to 3s and 4s. Right.
And I think we're a little spoiled.
It's hard to get off the crack pipe.
If we go back through history, when in history have we been in the 3s?
Never.
Other than like this last couple of years?
Yeah, it was a COVID anomaly.
Yeah, exactly. Because I remember January of 2020, we were like what, mid-4s, 5s?
5s.
Yeah, we're in the 5s. So, and everybody's freaking out, but you don't remember those times. So, and then something too, Mike and I were talking about, because it's not always easy to get a seller to give $30,000 back. Right. But if they just do just a 2-1 buy down, you're still going to be at like 5.5% instead of 7.5%. Right. So you're still saving a ton of money there. So it's still an opportunity. So this is what we're trying to talk to buyers about right now. And they say, well, waiting for the crash. I see, and I'm going to get a bunch of comments on this one too, I'm sure, like, hey, you're just trying to sell me a house. Well, no, I'm trying to get you into a house right now, because I guarantee it.
Ooh,
Agent B guarantee right here.
Guarantee.
If 2 years from now, even if house prices do drop a little bit, which Southern California, where I'm at, we're not going to see a massive drop. Like other places in the country, you might see a big drop somewhere, but we're not going to see that here. Even if they do drop a little bit, as soon as interest rates go down, what's going to happen to prices?
Explosion.
They're going to go back up again. You're going to get all the people that for the last 2-3 years have been saying, I'm going to wait, never bought. Yep. And they're the same people that back in 2008, 9, 10, I'm going to wait, when we were already in the crash and didn't buy. Right. Then it started coming up again, I'm going to wait. And now you're going to be in the same situation that we're in 2021, but it's going to be 2024. Yeah. And you're going to be sitting there going, man, I should have bought. Yeah. I can't afford this anymore. So you're on the same hamster wheel, you guys. So I think this program that Mike is talking about is a great program, the 2-1 buy down. Anything else you want to add on that?
No, it's just a super helpful way to get your payments in line for the next couple of years.
Right. And so it really, it's almost as if you're buying last year. Yes. It really is, because you're saving that 100 or that 50 grand. So it's really like you're buying last year, but you're getting it this year, and then we're going to be able to refi later. So, well, great, Mike. Well, where can people find you? Where on Instagram or Facebook or wherever you're at? Where can we get you?
Just Google Mike Cornelius. I'm all over the place. I've got reviews everywhere. I'm on Google. I'm on Facebook. I'm on Instagram. I'm on TikTok. Okay. Look at my beautiful granddaughter. She does videos with me.
Yeah, check out TikTok. Fun. It's really fun. Yeah. So, but you can get him on Instagram at Mike Cornelius. Yeah. Okay, Mike Cornelius on Instagram, DM him there. He can give you all this info. Obviously, reach out to Agent B. Yep. You know how to get me. You guys, Agent B Realtor across, or either the Bartholomew team or Brian Bartholomew. You can find me. You know, it's all down there in the description. I'll put it in the description. Yeah. Whatever platform we're on right now, might be over there in the description.
We're not hard to find.
Who knows? Yeah, but you'll get us, you guys. So that's it for this one, Mike. Thanks for coming out, man. Appreciate it.
Yep,
that was great. I mean, 2-1 buy down, you guys. This should be on your mind when you're going out shopping. If you're talking to a realtor and they're not talking to you about it, I should be the realtor you're talking to.
Absolutely. And
this is the lender you're going to talk to. Okay, so that's it. We got to go, you guys. We'll see you. Wave out, Brett.
Peace.